Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How are you all doing? Game of Thrones Season 8 has concluded, and I really want to talk about it here today, giving you my thoughts and opinions. Game of Thrones has been a massive part of my life and the channel for 10 or so years. I've made thousand upon thousand of Game of Thrones videos on this channel, and I just can't stop talking about this final series, and I want to give you my thoughts and opinions on it. I'm kind of going for a more sort of optimistic look in this video, as I am more of a book reader than a Game of Thrones fan. I prefer the books. Now, I like some of the conclusions of the show, but the context has just been absolutely horrible. The build-up has been atrocious. Now, let's be honest, since about Game of Thrones Season 4, the writing has gone absolutely down. Apart from the Battle of the Bastards, which I really like, Game of Thrones has been on a downward trend, in my opinion, since Season 4. So let's talk about Daenerys Targaryen dying, becoming the Mad Queen, and burning King's Landing to the ground. I really like this idea. It fits well for her book arc, and I seriously can't wait to see how George implements this in the future, if this is the conclusion for Daenerys Targaryen. But in Game of Thrones, the TV show, the context has been horrific. The build-up has been awful. The flip has been so quick. Her becoming the Mad Queen should have been a season, not a couple of episodes, where Varys betraying her, the Bells surrendering in King's Landing, Missandei dying, Jorah dying, Jon regretting her. It was too much of a flip, in my opinion. And some of the reasons why she turned was fucking stupid. And I accept all the criticism of her becoming the Mad Queen. But, at the end of the day, I'm a book reader. I can't wait to see how this is implemented in the books, if they do go for this, because it's going to be completely different. Young Griff's more than likely going to be essentially in King's Landing. Like, if there was a cost for her to burn King's Landing to the ground, that she had to do it, it was imperative to win the battle. I like that sort of stuff, but it was just silly. It was just really, really silly this season. What I really think this lacked was 10 seasons of Game of Thrones. The writers only wanted 7, we got 8, but they just really wanted to piece out. Now, I understand they've spent 10 years of their lives on their show. They want to move on to something else. They probably contractually couldn't give it to anyone else because they had an agreement with George and stuff, but they really should have passed it on, if I'm being perfectly honest. Now, I can't recommend this enough, guys. If you are completely dissatisfied with the Game of Thrones final season and the last couple, I highly recommend you go and read the books. You get so much more of an in-depth insight. You've got more magic, you've got more prophecies which have been thrown out the window in this show. You get a really good insight into your characters. Like, what also with Daenerys becoming the Mad Queen, in the books, there's this whole thing that you actually get to hear her inner monologue. You get to hear her thoughts and opinions. There was the whole thing where she allowed, so the dragon ate a slave girl, and she was absolutely distraught from it. But then in the end, she's flying away on Drogon's back, and there's like a monologue. She's slowly but surely forgetting the child's name, and completely forgetting about what happened in a couple of scenes ago. And that's one of the scenes where she's slowly becoming, they're hinting to this Mad Queen. Like, how the hell can you do that in the show without multiple seasons? Okay then, guys, it's time to move on from Daenerys. Let's talk about Jon Snow. Now, Jon Snow is my favourite character of the entire show, and his final story and arc is going to come back to what I said at the start of the video, that I like some of the conclusions, but the context is horrible. So, let's start off where Jon Snow ends. He's going north with the wildlings. I really like that Jon got the one thing he wanted in this world. The one thing Jon Snow ever wanted was to become a ranger, and I really like that. As soon as he got to the Night's Watch, Jorah Mormont was like, no, fuck that, you're going to become a steward. And I like that he's smiling, he's going north with the wildlings, he's living the life that he wanted to live. Now, him being a part of the Night's Watch is stupid. He should just go north. That he wants to. He wants to live, range. He wants to protect the he wants to protect the wildlings from shadow cats and snarks and stuff. But him killing Daenerys, just for her being a little bit mad, is silly. The whole stuff about him being the prince that was promised, him being a Targaryen, didn't really matter. I would have really liked to see Jon Snow either sit on the Iron Throne or do the whole sort of self-sacrifice arc he's been doing the entire book and show. If he has to become this Davy Jones sort of character to control the army of the Whites when they destroy the Night King, that the army of the dead won't stop, there must always be a Night King. I like that. But if Jon finally gets what he wants to become a ranger at the end in the books, it's going to make sense, and it's probably going to be good. The expectations have been subverted of him actually getting the throne. I might talk about the Battle of Winterfell a little bit later, once we talk about this final episode, though. Okay, now it's time to move on to King Bran and the Council. Now, once again, I like some of the conclusions, but the context is horrible. I'm probably going to be more harsh on the conclusions in this one more than before. Now, Bran becoming the king, I fucking hate. I think that is so stupid and silly. I like the idea of there being a council in Westeros. The wheel has been broken, the Iron Throne is gone. Every single Seven Kingdom should be a kingship in their own right. They should vote on policies and vote on stuff. There shouldn't be a one king. The fact that Bran becomes the king in the Crown Lands is so stupid. No claim. A northerner, a crippled boy. Yeah, I know most of the populace in King's Landing has died, but him becoming the king is stupid. The line that Tyrion says that, we serve at your pleasure, my grace, is so silly. And also, Brienne of Tarth having crow... it's like Raven-styled armor now. Cersei had her own unique one. Obviously, the Kingsguard under Joffrey had a different one. But having a Raven's Guard is so fucking retarded. And Sansa at the last minute bit going, yeah, I want to be queen in the north. Like, I don't mind that. But Yara is going to be like, hang on a second. Fuck that. I want to be king of the Iron Islands. You seriously think that Dornish prick is going to listen to fucking Bran on the Iron Throne? The Dornish guy's there, fuck, are we even here anymore? Like, who am I? Am I even Quentin Martell? Who the fuck am I? And Edmure Tully's like, hang on a minute. I've been imprisoned for the last 3 fucking years. I'm so happy that Edmure came back, by the way. How about I become the king of rivers and hills again? Fuck this shit. Milky Soy Boy on the other side, Aaron, is just sort of chilling. Also, Gendry didn't see, I think, out of all of them, Gendry would be the one to stand up and be, hang on a fucking second. I am Robert Baratheon's legitimized son now. Daenerys Targaryen gave me Storm's End, and Jon Snow fucking killed her. I am the rightful king. If Dany dies, Jon abdicates, Gendry is the rightful king. Why isn't Gendry on the Iron Throne? Gendry's like, nah, fuck this, I'm just gonna bend the knee to Bran. So, I like that there should be a council. Every king should be a king in their own right. Making Bran the one king of Westeros is stupid. But, in saying that, Bran being on the council is a good, because he can see everything. He can see the future, the past. He would be able to bring the secrets of old Valyria to King's Landing and to the people of Westeros. They're already getting sanitation projects in, but making Bran the king of Westeros is so stupid. I'm happy that there's a council, but that should be the council. Everyone should vote. There shouldn't be one king. All the 7 kingdoms should rule in my own right, in my honesty. I also love the fact that Sam brought up democracy in a feudal society, which is so fucking funny. It's completely unrealistic, because people are just going to get bored off, they're uneducated, they're not like trying to make a polling day would be ridiculous. So they need to have this sort of semi-voting senate of Westeros. Also, who's actually giving a fuck about Grey Worm here? Like, he's one of the mad soldiers that took King's Landing. Why wouldn't he just off with his head? And even that whole thing about Jon and the Night's Watch as well. Bloody Grey Worm leaves. So I kind of think they're like, okay, Jon actually wants to, like, one of the story points was Jon wants to go north, Jon wants to leave, doesn't want to have anything to do with it. They should have just done that, instead of him bending the knee to Bran and joining the Night's Watch again. Maybe, but he seems to be ranging north as soon as he gets there. I also find it really funny that they made Bronn Master of Coin. Like, yeah, there's no way within a couple of days that isn't going to embezzle the royal fucking treasury. And I kind of think it's meant to be like that. It's a happy sort of ending, but this is Game of Thrones. The next vote for king, like, there's going to be plots, intrigue, there's going to be bribery, like, to get their son and heir to be king. Like, this isn't the perfect way, but it's a start. Okay, let's move on and talk about Arya and the Night King, as I believe both of them are sort of intertwined, and we can talk about both of them. So, once again, I like some of the conclusions, but the context is horrible. Remember that, guys, throughout this video, of course. So, Arya going west of Westeros, I really like the idea. She's damaged, she's broken, she can't live in this world of Westeros. Kind of like Frodo when he's been stabbed by the Morgul blade. He's dying, he's corrupting, and needs to go away. I like the idea of her going west of Westeros and exploring, becoming the Christopher Columbus of Westeros. Just like, let's just forget all the consequences of smallpox and genocide, and let's just forget about that. Yeah, I kind of like as well, because there was that whole story about Alyssa Farman being essentially the archetype character of Arya, being a strong warrior woman, not wanting to be a lady, and going west. But it's also like Arya has never shown any navigational skills, so she's going, and like, going west of Westeros is tough, it's treacherous, it's never been done before for a reason. So like I said, context, let's just forget that. It's probably going to be all good in the books, but I could see why people get really pissed off about it. Now, let's talk about what else. Yeah, so her killing the Night King, I don't really like it at all. I think the Night King should have been the big bad of the series. They should have finished off Cersei ages ago, like finishing off the Night King and him dying by being so competent to get snuck up on and pushed to Bran. He died from his own hubris. Like, how silly is that, him dying in one episode? Heaps of people thought he was going to come back. No, that's it. Now, if Jon, right, I wanted Jon to fight the Night King. Even if Jon is fighting the Night King neck and neck, he's getting defeated. He's on the cusp. He's like dying, basically. I would have really liked to see that. And then if Arya comes out, I could understand. But having Arya kill the Night King is so just like strung in out of nowhere. Like, Arya, the main thing I have a problem is that she didn't know who the Night King was until a couple of episodes. Like, how silly is that? Like, she just didn't know who the fuck the Night King was, and then she gets the final kill? I really, really don't like that. I just really wish they gave the Night King more of a satisfying finale. It should have been a couple of episodes instead of one. We've been building up to the big bad, and it kind of fell flat. I don't want this video to go on too much longer, so I'm quickly going to fire through some of the characters. So the Euron, Cersei, Jaime, crossbow storyline, this is what I've got to say about that. I don't even give a fuck, like, about it. It's all stupid. It's all silly. I don't even really want to talk about it. Missandei dying, I like that. Grey Worm surviving, I'm surprised about that. Theon dying, I think he went out perfectly. To be honest, I really quite like how Theon died. Sir Davos surviving, would have really liked to see him meet with his family. They don't really address it in the books. In the show, that, like, Sir Davos has a family that's just, like, hanging out in the Stormlands. He's been fighting away for so long. I don't think they've really talked about it in the show. I think they sort of just ignored that he's got, like, a family and kids living in the south of the Stormlands. They only think it's his one son that died. Torment survived. Yeah, he sort of didn't really have a very final story. Jorah Mormont and Beric Dondarrion, perfect, dying in the Battle for Winterfell. Saving Arya was a bit silly. Gendry becoming the Lord of Storm's End. Yay! Edric Storm getting cucked there. Varys dying in Westeros. Silly circumstances. I think he just, like, suicided in. Predicted that. Clegane Bowl we like to see. I didn't mind that too much. Qyburn getting absolutely fucked up was great. What else did I want to say? Tyrion surviving and being Lord of Castle Rock. I don't think they actually said that he got Castle Rock, but I'm just going to assume he did. And obviously I predicted in the Winterfell video that Samwell would write the Song of Ice and Fire book, which they said he didn't. They said some other guy wrote it. So it wasn't even Sam in the end. He just came up with the title. So why didn't Sam just write the book? I guess, like, time-wise. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to have to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. So I feel like overall, if you're a Game of Thrones fan solely and haven't read the books, you'd be disappointed about the plot holes, the context, and conclusion. But I'm optimistic because I like actually a lot of these conclusions, especially in the book format. A lot of them I like. So I really can't wait until eventually, finally, the Game of Thrones books come out. And it wouldn't surprise me. There has been talks that once the books have been fully out and done, which probably could take like 8-10 years, there could be an animated show of it, which would be really cool. Actually seeing young Griff, Aegon Targaryen, the Blackfire, be animated and actually battle it out nice and proper. So overall, my thoughts and opinions about Game of Thrones. I like some of the conclusions, but the context, the plot hole, has been awful. I can't recommend this enough. If you haven't read the Game of Thrones books, go and read them now. I haven't got an Audible sponsor, so you can't get an affiliation link through me, I'm afraid. But, yeah, go read the books. You have a better time. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, really appreciate it. Had a lot of things I wanted to get off my chest about Game of Thrones. Wanted to put out my thoughts and opinions. So if you've made it all the way to the end, thank you. Put in the comment section down below Simpzy likes turtles if you want to fuck with the other subscribers. If you want to see more of these type of videos where I talk about topics like TV shows occasionally, leave the video a like and let me know in the comments and I'll try and do more of them. So make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Goodbye.